Just in case you missed it, maybe you were studying for a test, hiding under a rock, or just running away from your old girlfriend and your ex-wife. How about a little recap?
Well, I'm going to appeal to the fans here. We have a home in Georgia. We have a home in Alabama. I would like to not pick this game because I'd like for neither one of those homes to get vandalized. I'm asking for your help. But I got to pick it with my heart, man. Roll Tide.
Just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton. First down inside the 25. Jeremy Bernard in the backfield. Now he motions out. Dawgs being pressure. Bernard's got it on the edge. And he's got... Cameron. Just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton. Cameron. Just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton, first down inside the 25. Jeremy Bernard in the backfield. Now he motions out. Dawgs being pressure. Bernard's got it on the edge. And he's got some blockers. Jeremy Bernard, one of the best players on this football team, the former Husky, weaves his way to a first and goal. Zipped across the middle. Touchdown. There's Bernard out of the slot. In a marathon march, the Tide draw first blood between the hedges.
Here's man-to-man right here on the tight end. That clears, and now you got the open space right there for the touchdown. Good job of timing that up. Good job of waiting to just the right time for that tight end to clear with K.J. Bolton. And that's an easy inside release. Look at his eyes, right on it. What a drive by the quarterback and by this offense on that 14-play drive.
Yeah, it's a tough assignment for Ellis Robinson, man-to-man against Bernard, who can do it all. See, line up in the backfield. He's run for a touchdown this year.
When they tell us he's all 11, it's not just one guy, all 11.
Deep drop. Simpson looking across the middle and delivers a strike. And a tough catch made by Lazir Brooks. Took a blow that picks up 19.
Well, I am such a fan of what we're seeing right now from Tide.
Big Gabe Harris unable to keep the edge there, and the Tide with a first and goal. Fake it to Miller on the run. Simpson launches end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Horton. And the Crimson Tide. Unbelievably efficient start on the road here for this offense.
It's another 14-play drive, and what you'll love to see is watching Horton work back with his quarterback. This is incredible, almost like it was designed. Watch him stop, getting that Zen moment. Doesn't work for me.
Doesn't work?
No.
Simpson looking to throw on first down, flips it a screen, and that's Riley. And Riley's loose down the far sideline. This guy was a fifth string back in camp. He just patiently climbed up the depth chart. 2nd and 8. And up inside, Frazier. Right in the hole, fumble the football, and Alabama recovers it. Lawson fell on the football.
Tight to the line of scrimmage, puts his shoulder pad right on the football, and eventually knocks that ball away from Nate Frazier. And
handoff. Branch looking for room, but losing yardage. Trapped back inside the 20. Yanze Pierre is a twitched-up pass rusher. Got there in a hurry. Josh McCray, the 240-pound hammer who scored that overtime touchdown in the game as pass protector. Stockton flushed, and he'll be sacked. It's a short sack, but McCray's the back. 3 tight ends in the game, and Bowens is going to be stopped in the backfield. 2 backs in the game. It was Bowens who took the turn, and he's actually stopped behind the line. 4-man rush. Simpson has plenty of time. Pumps, and now he's going to flush and roll and fire across the middle. And wide open is Williams, who makes that catch over the middle, and he's in Georgia territory at the 45. And just get it snapped. Simpson dumps it off in traffic. Brooks makes the play, and let's hear Brooks is still running. Poor tackling by the Dawgs, and Brooks, Caden Proctor, the big tackle on the left side. They're going to throw it to him. Big fella, barreling downhill. Proctor bustling down near the pylon. Are you kidding me?
oh, I feel so bad for Kyron Jones, the poor safety, 31, that tried to come up and make a tackle.
Little urgency here to get it.
Proctor's over here, Chris.
Simpson on the move. He's going to keep it and score. Creative, efficient. And Simpson says, hush now. Alabama stretches the lead before halftime. Another 75-yard drive.
It started with his pregame speech to his team. You can see the Georgia fans, they don't know what to think right now. But everybody better pay attention to Ty Simpson, quarterback at Alabama. This guy's not only a distributor. And then here's the touchdown. Talked about, you got to worry about all these receivers, the different guys going in different directions. He's got.
It's happening quickly. It's an enormous play. Cash Jones is going to be hit behind the line. L.T. Overton makes a huge play for this Tide defense, and they preserve the lead in the red zone.
What?
Very well lately. He moves over to the left slot. Simpson right over the middle, and it's caught out near midfield. Delivered a dart.
They're doing the opposite. They're trying to keep these safeties back as much as they can.
2nd and 9. Stockton is going to be swarmed, trying to overcome that early holding penalty, and now they're going to be behind the 6 on 3rd down. Edric Hill and Tim Keenan. Low snap, flag on the play before the snap. Jones is going to be hauled down, slammed down hard for a loss.
Bammer
just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton, 1st down inside.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide, Alabama Nation. This is going to be a new signature for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Oh, that Ty Simpson, you slayed me, sir. Oh, welcome to the Tide Sports and Alabama Football Megacast. I'm just overjoyed right now. I can't even get through this intro. Thank you for thumbing over and checking me out on whichever virtual space you have chosen. Come on in, Bama Nation, and sit a spell. Tell a friend to lock me in, and let's talk about your Crimson Tide, the greatest football dynasty the world has ever seen. I'm talking about pro, high school, anything. You know, they ain't never seen like this. Share the pound with a brother. Come on in and pound it right down on the subscribe button. That's what I want you to do. Pound it right down. And, you know, just pound it out. And whatever you do, make sure you drop a comment. If you catch a vibe, you know, help me out. and help the tide by subscribing to this channel. Only the power of the people can blast this channel to the 5-digit regions of subs, but I'd be glad just to get to 1,000 right by now. So, spread the word. We here, we're going to have a good time. And always remember, if I successfully stimulate the habit juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, please remember to let the algorithm know we're having a good time over here by poking that like button right in the eye. Just poke it. Hit it hard. Don't break your computer. We are not responsible for any damages that happen to your computer. Man, what a doggone weekend. I had to watch that whole recap. It was a little long. First time trying it. It was a little long. But, hey, I wanted to get it all in. I wanted to create the environment that I felt late Saturday night when that game was over. I watched it. I watched it again. I watched all the highlights and the lowlights, and I'm pleased. I saw progression from the FSU game. I saw what happened in the ULM game and what happened against Wisconsin. I saw it all manifest in taking down Georgia. We're gonna go through that. But man, what a time was definitely had. I hope you enjoyed it, Bama Nation. I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed it too. I hope we get some more days like that. But it's not all promise. And after the game, the injury bug did bite us right in the bookie. That injury bug came around and said, "Come here. As you saw, Q Rosal left the game, outside linebacker, a certified defensive freakazoid. I've been talking about him all summer. He's now sidelined with a foot injury, surgery on deck. Probably had it today. I'm not sure, but he's going to miss some time. But Coach Deboer in the post game, he played a little coy. He said, we're still figuring out how bad it is, which is true. He ain't no doctor. At least I didn't check his resume to see if he had a medical degree. But I think we're going to be okay. But the thing is, there's a real depth problem that had occurred at the interior defensive line. Now the outside is getting hurt. As you already know, Jamarian Lathan is out for the season, I think, with a neck injury. I'm not even sure he's been released from the hospital because I know they were monitoring, trying to see what was going on exactly with him. Now with Rousseau being out, you got Yanze Pierre. He's a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a redshirt freshman, but he stepped up and he's doing it big. And he's also Justin Hill, a freshman, has been thrown in the mix. It's next man up. Even if that man is not old enough to sign up, old enough to, you're 18, you can do this. Old enough to buy a six-pack. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Get on in there and make it happen. Justice Hill doing a good job, but Pierre stepped up, and he stepped in like he owned it. 4 tackles, zero hesitation. You know what I'm saying? I think he caused a pass breakup last week. He's just being active out there. And I'm sure they're going to probably rotate somebody else in, maybe from another position or somebody whoever Kane Womack thinks can happen. And that's how if you're going to win a championship these days, I'm sure if you go look through the Ohio State roster and you look at all those games they had to win to get a championship, that's how you turn your roster into a highlight reel. Everybody's playing. And our offensive line, I'm going to talk about that. We still got a bunch of people playing over there. And that's fine. Keep the competition high. Let's give people some experience. But Rousseau has started all 4 games. And, his stat sheets are light. But what it is with him, he's so active and he's such a problem on that field. They have to do what? Account for him. So he's getting doubles. He's doing all. He still got 3 tackles and a sack. But, Kane Womack called him the freakiest defender in camp. He has the whole time. And that's not a nickname, people. When he come back, however long he stayed at Alabama, that was a woman that wanted a promise. He makes it to the NFL, he's going to be that kind of an impact player. I really think he has that potential to be sort of like the guy that left Dallas and went to Penn State, went to Dallas, now he's in Green Bay. Except he can play the run. Anyway, Alabama just clapped on Georgia, moved to 3-1 next. Next comes Vanderbilt. Last year's defense was Swiss cheese versus this year. It was a little bit better, but we still got some issues, and we'll talk about that. But also with the injuries, Jam Miller came back, didn't like he missed a beat. It was tough sledding out there for him, but he had to get what you can get. They did not abandon the run. Tim Keenan came out there. Tim Keenan. They pressed the middle. They controlled the line of scrimmage for, as best they could at times. I got more on the defense later. It's something about it, so it appears that they didn't just go on spa days and go golfing on the bye week. They was out there, they was out there massaging each other with them shoulder pads and them helmets, because the road ahead is look real rough. So people got to step up on the defensive side, and people got to step up in that backfield. But hey, kudos to these guys. We got Vanderbilt coming up, and Missouri, and Tennessee, and South Carolina, and LSU. Woo! Hopefully Russo will be back by then. And don't know what kind of surgery he may have, but I do expect Yanzi Pierre, I'm gonna get his name right, to keep lighting that fuse out there. Just take a look at the game, man. Alabama had 25 first down. Georgia had 17. 13 for 19 on third downs. 8 for 8 to start the game. Folks, that's a masterclass. I don't know. What is that? 8 to 19 to be 9. That's almost like 70% at third down conversion. Georgia was 25%. Georgia was 25%. I don't know what kind of power they are with the defensive power. Usually they can run the ball, but Georgia was held to a third down efficiency of 25%. 2 of 8. Their defense tightened up in the second half. Only 7 points were scored in the second half. Unfortunately, that was Georgia. But hey, we was right with them. I saw something from Kane Womack that I want y'all to. I'm gonna bring it up later. Still got problems with too many rushing yards, but I'm gonna show you some stats. This defense is moving forward. I don't like how they're moving forward, but they're moving forward. I do like it when it's like, oh, you got to run 300 yards on this to beat us. I wouldn't dare nobody, but that's what it seems like. Now passing, these guys had, what did they have? They had 130 yards. Georgia passed the ball for 130 yards. That is incredible. Didn't they just sell Carson back to Miami for like $5 million because of the golden arm and passing the ball? This man was 13 of 20. 13 of 20. What is that? 65%? They tried to run it down our throats, but it didn't work, shockingly. But they ran the ball for 227 yards, averaged 6.9 yards per rush, and they lost. Why? Coaching decisions. Never seen Kirby probably call a worse game when I looked at it the second time. I was glad he did. I'm glad he made some decisions he made. And their turnovers and lack of discipline. Things that have plagued us in the past. They had 6 penalties for 68 yards. None bigger when that man said, you, and tried to Superman the whole crowd. And he hit Jeremy Bernard with his helmet. He should have been ejected, not just penalized. Referees, they firing y'all. They suspending y'all. They firing y'all. Y'all better get it together. You can't, even the people in the booth, if you look at that play over again, this man diving on top of somebody going head to head, y'all doing the play, call it on them. Let that man sit down doing their next game against, I don't know who they playing, Kentucky. That man deserved to sit down in the first half. That was reckless. He could have broke somebody's neck. Could have broke his own neck if everybody just slid to the left. That was crazy. I get it, but I don't get it. Ty Simpson was 25 of 39. Pretty good efficient day, 7.2 yards, but he was just, they really started to rattle him a little bit in the second half. And they changed their coverages, and it was very apparent. Now, rushing for us, 117. I'll take it. We only averaged 3.1 yards per rush, but we threw the ball 39 times, and we rushed the ball 38 times. Well, I'm good, I'll take it. I didn't know we had to even do that many plays, but I'll take it. I mean, I'm going to continue forward. Our penalties, 4 penalties for 16 yards. While burning 3 timeouts. And what was that? before the second quarter. They said it was loud in there. I wanted you to kind of hear it. When I did the little summary there, you hear how loud it was. It was ridiculously loud for those guys on the field. I'd rather than burn them those timeouts. That's good leadership, man. We got woo. I'd rather than to burn those timeouts, take them 5-yard penalties. That's why we got 4 for 16. I think one of those was at the goal line or something, half the distance. So, 4 penalties for 6. Because what's my theory, folks? If you give up 80 yards of penalties, you're giving up a touchdown. And with most of these teams, if you give up 60, you're giving up a field goal. Georgia gave up 68 yards in penalties. What did we win by? 3. How do a lot of people get 3 points? Field goal. Am I a genius? Perhaps, but I think not. But you can't do it. And my favorite, one of my favorites, they lost that fumble. That's one of my favorites. I wish we had an interception, but 13 completed passes, 7 passes. Some of them that were in the dirt, throwaways, stuff like that. They didn't give us a lot of opportunities. Tennessee is going to give us a lot of opportunities, but time of possession. That time of possession in the first half was ridiculously skewed toward Alabama. They built back a little bit in the second half, but it was right where I wanted to be. I prefer you be at 37. I really prefer you be at 45. But against the Georgia, 37 is great. They came in at 35 minutes, 36 seconds. And that's because I think Georgia really tried to tighten up on defense, because that looks like that may be the majority of what they have. They talking about, man, we would have caught that pass. And we would have caught the pass. Our man dropped the touchdown. Their man dropped the touchdown. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Don't. Even some of the doggone channels I watch, they're like, if he'd have caught their touchdown, if I got him caught a touchdown, it was killing y'all. Matter of fact, it'd been better for y'all if he caught a touchdown, because y'all have got the ball back sooner. But because dude missed the ball, that drive was 75 some odd yards, and I don't know. I think it was at least a 7-minute drive. Right off the bat. Talking about the O-line, our rotation is looking more like a casting call. Still got a lot of people playing. It's like a Rubik's Cube. There's no consistent starting 5, just a rotation of beef and brawn. They putting people out there that's making it happen. I don't really care. Maybe when they get a little consistency, maybe the rush yards will go up from 117. Michael Carroll's getting time. William Sanders is getting time. I don't remember William Sanders playing against Wisconsin. I don't remember, but he's out there. The line play in the last 5 years really has been so wonky. I'll say 4 years. It's been wonky. So, and a lot of times what happens is we had transfers or people got hurt, and then other people came in, they didn't know how to play. So to be able to test these guys out against Wisconsin and ULM is one thing, but to test them and trust them against Georgia is spectacular, especially if you get the close win. I mean, they are getting developed by fire, not trial by fire. They're getting developed by fire in some cases in, SEC prime time against Georgia. So instead of tightening up the rotation, they've been expanding it. A lot of people, they tighten up. I always hear these basketball. I don't understand basketball at all. But they said, come tournament time, you want to play 7 players. That's cool unless you playing against a team that got 10 really, really good players. I think. I mean, you got to have 7 outstanding people to say, I don't need to play these other 8 people on my bench ever at all unless somebody twists the ankle. That's basketball, though. I don't understand that. That's how some coaches do it. What are you going to confuse if you bring number 9 and number 10 and you don't know what they do? I don't understand basketball at all, not at that level. But I'm sure it makes sense to those coaches. But, some of them teams I see, they run out nine people at you, and you don't know what to do with them. You're probably going to lose. Now, they're mixing and matching. They're mixing the batter. They're not ready to bake. Coach Kabelovich and Coach Grubb, they rotating that thing. I don't mind. It's working right now. The offense is very creative too. So sometimes I think that chemistry that you want to develop in practice, if you need the lineman to do this, that, and the other, or catch a extended handoff like Caden Proctor did, you got to be in the game maybe to get the feel of how it needs to work out. So maybe he want to make sure that these guys are learning. I don't know the number of snaps they're playing, man, but when you're a freshman and you get in like 5 or 10 snaps, and you know the guys in front of you, a lot of them are going to play on Sunday, that says a lot. First of all, it makes you want to stay. It makes you want to stay. You learn so much. I mean, they're not playing them enough to make them valuable maybe to scoot on, but it makes you want to stay because people will be leaving this team after the season, and you slide right in there with what? Experience. So this is not no panic situation. It's construction. It's something that I don't think they've done in Alabama in a long time. At least I wasn't paying attention if they did. But what I'm reading is that it is unusual to play this many people this deep into the season. And especially against, let's just face it, one of the top 3, Florida State throws me off. But the top 3 teams we're going to play this year, LSU or Tennessee, Georgia, not Florida State. So to play against the top 3rd and you are of your schedule and you still mix and matches, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, that line is not completed. The scaffolding is still up on the sides. They build that thing. But they show brilliance out there. The offensive line shuffling up, picking up stuff, giving Ty a clean pocket. It was there. Because if you kept going with the same 5 people for the last 2 or 3 games, and then somebody twists an ankle, somebody get a soft tissue injury, the schedule is tightened up not because we don't play another Georgia or Florida State. The schedule is going to get tight because it's that mid-tier and above competition that you playing really for 2 months. So you can't be – you don't want to throw the guy out there to do that. Can you do it this week and that week? And I want to see if you can do it for 3 games so we know we can trust you. So I'm sure it may tighten up later in the season, but I wouldn't be mad if they play 7 the whole season. I do not care. As long as we keep that clean pocket, give Ty time to see stuff, and come, another 135, 150 yards rushing will be nice. Now, the offense has been very explosive, but we know that the fuse to make that thing go is those 5 guys up front. So until they, completely lock in, it's going to be boom or bust type of football. So right now, even though they're rotating about 9 players, or at 10 with Will Sanders, I'll just say 9 players, hey, they're getting it done. I mean, the offense is looking great. Jeremy Bernard, Ty Simpson looking immaculate. More on them later. But the play that shook the world, and I'm not talking about the football world, I'm talking literally the world shook. Kalen Proctor, all 359 yards. He channeled his inner Jeremy Bernard or maybe even Devontae Smith. He got that lateral, man, and he rumbled like a freight train. He almost scored. But, I was saying, man, that play says one thing that's real disrespectful to the other team. It's like, I don't care about your players at all. I mean, it's almost like that should be like an unfair play. In youth football, if kids can be 200, 225, 250, but they put them in certain places because it's just dangerous. But just because they're in college and they're grown men, they don't make it less dangerous. Now, some people, they'll try to clean your clock. If some safeties we've had in the past, Jackson and Collins, they'll try to knock Caden Proctor out. All right, just be honest. But some, not all of them. Minka may have went over there and pulled him down and stuff. He may have laid a lick on him too. Bray Hubbard, the way he looking, he may have tried to go, I don't know. He may have tried to take a hip out. But them people at Georgia, when everybody was looking like this when he came through, it was one guy trying to do something, but he ran into Horton. He crushed Horton, but he couldn't make it to Caden Proctor. But that's called a block. He was coming in hard, man. But Nick Saban, when they asked that man, he said they asked him why he never did something like that to do a tackle eligible screen. He just said, I wasn't smart enough to do it. You know what I'm saying? basically saying that, he wished he probably would have tried that. But, he tried a lot of other tricks. So he got nothing to be ashamed of. But Nick Saban, he praised Ryan Grubb. He said that, he likes the game plan that he's been calling. He's really, really good. Of course, Saban wanted to hire him at one time. That 13 for 19 on third down was a very surgical execution. Just a lot of swagger in that. I mean, that's for Alabama. I mean, it's against Georgia. I ain't talking about against Arkansas or against, with all due respect, Auburn or somebody. We're talking about in Sanford Stadium against Georgia, 13 for 19. I don't know how many people breaking. Now, forget about this part. Breaking, what was it, a 33-game home winning streak, which I think they say that stretches back to COVID. I guess so, because you got about 6 games at home, maybe 7 or 8. That's a tough field to play on. I mean, 8 for 8 on third down starting out, man. This man was willing and dealing. He was willing and dealing early. Saban watched the game tape. He's watching tape on Grubb like he's thinking about trying to recruit him away to his school. I mean, but that's the kind of quote that Ryan Grubb can hang on his wall and say, that man say you very, very good. That means you're very, very good. And I just want Ryan Grubb to keep acting like you're very, very good. This wasn't just a win. Of course, you all know that if you're paying attention. This was a statement. And that Caden Proctor rumble was just an exclamation point to say, yes, our defense has been trying to bring the pain to y'all all day. But even on offense, we want y'all to hurt. Not to harm you. We want you to hurt. We want y'all guys to take off Monday and Tuesday and then think about whether you want to play football against Alabama again. So, Kentucky, you're welcome. Your best shot to win is right now because we have softened them up for you. But, I mean, if this was a movie, I mean, that Proctor play would be like that. That's the beginning of the trailer. I started to do my little review, starting off with a little Caden Proctor bumbling down the sideline. But let me get back to plucking through these numbers real quick. On the offensive side, you said Ty Simpson, 24 for 38, 276 yards, no INTs, none. QBR of 90.1. 2 touchdowns. Jam Miller, 16 for 46, 2.9. It could be part injury. It could be part Georgia. It could be part getting his field back. I have to look it up. I don't know if we play another run defense as tough as Georgia. I think they say LSU's may be pretty good, and I haven't even looked at the Vanderbilt team. But Georgia's usually that defensive line usually get after you. Kevin Riley, 10 carries for 30 yards. That's 3. And I'm pleased to say that Ty Simpson had, normally 38 rushes. Our quarterback for last year would have had like 38. Jalen Milroe would have came in at about 23 carries, which is ridiculous. Ty Simpson had 4 carries. Could have run more. He could have. I thought in the third quarter, but hey, I can't complain. He could have, would have. He had 4 carries for 12. Jeremy Bernard carried the ball 5 times, which shocks me. That's very shocking, but it is what it is. 38 carries. That's why you got the clock advantage. That's why I built up early. Even though we was getting 2.5, 3.5 yards per play on those rushes, didn't matter. The clock was turning. And I said it the other day, I don't even know if Kirby and them know how to – could Nick Saban really strategize to win a game if he only had the ball for 20 minutes? Maybe that's why so many great coaches don't even try to be in that predicament. I need the ball so I can take my time. That's those fast moving offenses that do all this stuff, they get off rhythm. And, that's not exactly what we have, but, the more you have the ball, the better off you are. Defense gets rested. You see, I think we had 2 times when the defense was 3 and out, and it wasn't just 3 and out. It was three and a painful out. Like, get back to the sideline because they were rested. They could be explosive. Now they made adjustments later, made it into a game, but they still did a really good job. Isaiah Horton, 5 receptions, 65 yards. That's an average of 13 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. Ryan Williams, even with the drop, 5, 43, 8.6, no touchdown. That's on him. Latsir Brooks, New Jersey's finest, 2 receptions, 40 yards. That's 20 a catch. They're calling that man what they call him, an automatic tackle breaker. I don't know if you go back and look at the catches here. At the time he touched the ball, I think he touched the ball on a run play too. The number of tackles he broke because people underestimate his strength because of his size and then probably his age too. It was incredible. I know one of those plays he broke like 3 tackles and like a 4th was avoided. For one of his one of his longest was 21, the other one was 19 on the reception side. Kevin Riley, running back, 2 for 37, 18 and a half per catch. Jeremy Bernard, just another Jeremy type day, 5 for 35, 7 yards to catch, and a tutty. All over the place. And my man finally came through. Josh Cuevas, he got in there. Jam got in there. Just excellent. When you look at explosive plays, Isaiah had a long of 24. See, explosive on the offensive side for passing is 15 yards. So you see, Isaiah had 1, Ryan had 1, Latsir had 1, Kevin had 1, Jeremy had 1, Josh almost had 1. Caleb Edwards, our freshman tight end, he also caught 1 pass for 17 yards, giving us another explosive play. This Coach Deboer loved the explosives. They love the explosives. On defense, Bray Hubbard played like a man whose backside was on fire. He defended the pass, and he blew that dude up in the hole. That dude thought it was going to be sweet, and it was not. He blew that guy up and forced that fumble. I was like, no, Bray is fully awake and fully engaged in the 2025 season. We started seeing it at ULM. We definitely saw it at Wisconsin. And the other night, it was just on. Justin Jefferson came through, 8 tackles, 5 solo. LT Overton, pressure. Gotta call him Mr. Pressure. Half a sack for him. The other half to Edric Hill. I don't know how they did that, though. But I'll take it. He had a tackle for loss as well. Edric Hill had a 1.5 tackles for loss. And what's the guy? Yanze Pierre. Like I say, he had 4 tackles. He's doing his thing. What is that? I got so many alarms on this phone, they overlap each other. Dijon Lee was out there playing. The passes, we didn't even get a chance to defend any passes because their passes were either accurate or they were like indefensible. The 13 completions they did, people were like either sitting in the zone or running wide open. And, you got to work on that. And that's why I want to talk about the defense. Now, when I started, getting together for today's show, like really thinking Saturday night, I was like, defense, just like I did last year. When everybody said after the first 2 games, the man needed to be fired after the USF game, I went back and looked at the numbers. I said, let me pull up the numbers on this defense, see where we are. Before you fire the defense coordinator, before y'all see Cade Womack back to, he need to go back to South Alabama. He need to go, man, he should back to Mobile. Before y'all send him no Mobile, please understand this. This defense is ranked 28th in the nation, giving up 16.5 yards a game. This team has played 2 top 25 schools, 1 being FSU, where we know they fell asleep. It's very apparent now we fell asleep. And after playing Georgia, 28th in the nation at 16.5 points given up. The people at the very top played nobody. They giving up like 9 points. I think it's like Army or somebody. It's somebody like that, some indiscriminate team. But you get that thing down to about 13, 3 more points, you're talking about a championship defense. Now the rush defense. I'm going to take you up. Let me take you to the ground. 90th in the freaking, I don't know what it is. But I saw something. I'll get to it in a second. 90th rushing defense in the country out of 130 some teams now, giving up 160 yards per game. That's up 24 yards since the last game. The average of the last 3. Now that we had 4 games, we went up. I just don't get it. Now, does Georgia have some horses? Yeah, Georgia got some horses. And they got some buffaloes out there blocking too. But man, pass defense. Before y'all fire your offense coordinator, I'm going to take you back up for a minute. Your pass defense, guess what your pass defense is? Alabama fans, do you know what your pass defense is? It may be because we haven't played any prolific passers, but last time I checked, I don't think we got but one known prolific passer because the guy at Oklahoma got hurt on the Nussmeier and prolific passers, Nussmeier, and that's all I got. John Mattel got hurt. I don't know if he's going for the season. The Alabama Crimson Tide is ranked behind Nebraska, allowing 113 yards, 13 and a half yards per game at number 2 in the country. I'm going somewhere with this. Overall, the Tide's total defense gives up 274 yards per game, and they are ranked 19th in the country. Now, trust me when I say this. When you go look at those other 18 teams, they don't read like Penn State, Ohio State. This Penn State, Ohio State's in there, but we know they're not playing nobody. But they're in there. You know, Ole Miss, maybe a Miami. But you got a lot of, you know, Utah Cavalry, and you got a lot of Texas, Alberta. You got schools that, you know, we're not playing the same type of people. So to be 19th is pretty good. We should get better. But giving up 274 yards a game, that's going to leave you in a lot of games. Now I'm going to take you back down again. Sacks. We got 1.4 sacks per game, which makes us 112th in the nation. Now that number is actually going up because I don't think we had many sacks versus ULM because they ran out their pocket so much. And Castellanos, when he got sacked, it was kind of like a mishap. But that number is 112th in sacks. Are they not going for the sacks so they can get turnovers? Well, let's talk about it. The Alabama Crimson Tide is tied for number 1 in turnover margin. The Alabama Crimson Tide is tied for number 1 in turnover margin. We have taken up all the way 7 times. This is a team stat. We've taken up all the way 7 times, and we've given it away zilch in 4 games. 0 turnovers. 7 divided by 4, something like 1.75 plus turnovers, plus 175 per game. That's cooking with gas. So before you send a defensive coordinator a packet, we need to talk about some things. Now, one thing I didn't like in this game was explosive plays. An explosive play, like I said, for a run is over 12 yards in one play. For a pass is 20 yards. And that may vary from team to team, but that's what the internet said it is. So I'm sticking with that. Let's talk about it. Now, I already told you Gunnar Stockton did not have a prolific game. His QBR was 78.6, 1 TD, 130 yards. Right in line with we give up 113, 116 a game. He got 130. They ain't even try to throw the ball more than 20 times, even when they was behind. But they ran it on us. They had 2 explosive plays in receiving. You saw one of them. Man just ran wide open. Like a man running from the police in the mall parking lot. He was gone. He was gone with no cars. Empty parking lot. Them cops ain't going to catch him. Anyway, and he had a 38 and a 22. But when I look at the long rushing plays, the explosives, now remember, an explosive rushing play is 12 yards. They had a long rushing play of 43, another one of 43, another one of 24, another of 21, and another one. I mean, come on. I just didn't know why. Why? I said, now there have been injuries on the defensive line, and what I did notice, a lot of runs they got, they were like early, but somehow in the fourth quarter, they started pitching like shutouts. They started dialing up the run blitzes, and so they wasn't running the passing. I don't know if he did a good job of guessing that they were going to run the ball, and he shut them down. Some very big, critical plays happened with that defense. If you go back and watch the second half, and you got to go watch it again, you won't see it. You'll still be standing on the corner road talking about, who do you send that man back to Mobile? I think the injuries at the defensive line cause us to play so many young people, and I still think they're missing assignments. Things that have gotten better as we go on during the year, and things they're going to work on. But I just got a lot of young people out there playing. I just don't think they got it all together unless he just tells them the reading part. If he tells them to attack, they don't have a problem attacking. But if it's a situation where it's like 2nd and 7, and they gone. Because all in this defenses, one man's out of place with these people with this speed and power, they gone. Happened to us several times. Backside was strong. That's why they didn't get all the touchdowns from all these long runs. But, I just saw something. So, take that what it's worth. I'm going to give you the facts. And let me see here. Somebody chimed in here. It's me said, what up? Wait, man, what's going on? Thrift store won't accept anymore. Oh, man. Try to get in contact with Care International. They're sending some things over to like South India, parts of India and Africa. Definitely can need those clothing. Although I've heard that certain teams have been rejected from time to time. So let's see. We try to warn them all summer that this 5 feet is coming. Hey man, I actually picked them to win the game 2 weeks ago. They had no reason to lose to Oklahoma. The refs did do them in. I can't even make an assessment of that, but I watched how they played, how they called the game, and I kind of knew it was over. But I'm there for emotional support from the people. We're going to reach out and, support them in the best way we can. We're going to pray for them. We're going to pray for them. The thing is, like, when do you fire your coach? Do you wait 2 weeks and fire the coach before Georgia? Or do you let him go in and win a Georgia game? And, of course, I'll be pushing for a contract extension. It's me. You probably would agree if Hugh Freeze, he's sick, by the way. I want to get this man some mercy. If he goes to beat Georgia, he deserves a contract extension, I think. That's just a me thing. I mean, it may just be me. And then he says, how many interceptions does Simpson has this year? I know he has 2. Because he got 1 in Florida State. He has 2, if not 3. But it wasn't Florida State, it was ULM. Because Florida State, that whole defense was basically, it was an out-of-body experience. There was a spaceship, and it landed, and then the starters went up. And when they came back, George Clinton told them, hey, talk to y'all later. And they were like, huh? And they didn't wake up till like the next week. But anyway, thank you for chiming in. It's me. I'm having a good time. I'm celebrating. Still got some work to do, but I am celebrating this fantastic victory. It's a statement. They are, guarantee you, 4 teams on our schedule. Their collective thought processes have been beginning of the season, like, man, we're going to get Alabama next year. Yeah, look what they did at Florida State. We're going to get them this year. Yeah. And now they're thinking like, oh, this is going to be tougher than we thought. You damn right it is. But hey, 2 Alabama players to me have been beasting all season, even at Florida State. And the first one is that he started off the season. He was off the radar at the beginning of the season. But Tuscaloosa turned this man into a primetime problem, from a transfer to a touchdown machine. Bernard is on the rise. He is SEC certified. Jeremy Bernard. He got hands like Velcro and footwork like a TikTok dancer. I say that what makes him special is he run all the routes. Inside, outside, downtown, backside. You need him to go out in the parking lot and do a button hook. He can do that too. Averaging 92 yards per game, making DBs look they're running in sand. You saw the dude was like it was funny when he caught the ball, dude kind of hit him on the back like, yeah, you got me. Because I'm scared of you going that way. And I thought my man was over here, but we cleared the safety out, and he had no help to the inside. Vegas has caught on. Vegas, this man odds for the Heisman has jumped tremendously. He went from a plus 5,000 to a plus 2,500 after this past game. That's heating up. I don't know if y'all know what that means, and I never can remember what it means. But what it means, if you bet $100 on Jeremy Bernard to win the Heisman Trophy and he wins, you win $2,500. I think I could use $2,500 every once in a while. Just $2,500 a day would really probably help me do some things. Now, back in Ryan Grubb's system for the third year, his chemistry with Ty Simpson is smoother than a jazz solo at a festival in New Orleans. Now, he's not making just, catching passes. He's catching eyes. He's moving up all kind of charts all around the place. And, he got toe taps. He got sideline snags. He got zone praises to the Lord. I mean, he got it all. He's doing it all kind of. He's running the ball. Rusher. He's tough in there. He's cutting. I do worry about him on them jet sweeps. I worry about all my receivers on jet sweeps. So I just figured somebody like a Bray Hubbard is going to flash through there and just clean their collective clout. But if he keeps torching those secondaries and Alabama keeps winning, Bernard's Heisman campaign, it might go from a dog horse to a spotlight. But he may be right behind his quarterback because Ty Simpson, QB1, also known as Mr. Smooth Moves and Crimson Shoes. That's something I came up with today. Don't steal it. It's copyright. Anyway, he started the season. In the summer, his odds to win the Heisman was like plus 10,000, plus 12,000, depending on where you look. Yeah, I mean, you put $100, somebody's going to give you 12,000. That's crazy. But he started off the season, they kind of lowered 2,500. That was potential. But now, after Georgia, boom, his odds got slashed to plus 1,000. Meaning you can bet $100 on Ty Simpson right now, get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. 100 gets you 1,000. $100 right now gets you 1,000. I'm just telling you, we got a couple of suckers coming up now, pass-wise. Now, see, because the thing is, Vanderbilt, we could win by 3 points. Ty still could be looking good because he looked good at FSU for a first-time starter. But his stat line is so clean. It's like clean like my pastor's Sunday suit. It's clean. No blemishes, no wrinkles. 69.3% completion, 1,138 yards, 1,138 yards, 11 touchdowns in 4 games. And you remember, we played 3 quarterbacks in the ULM game. 0 touchdowns. That's more than efficient. That is a surgical execution of your offense. I mean, he's just not throwing darts. He's running the rock too. Got 2 rushing touchdowns. A game-winning scramble, really, that made the Bulldogs. It was out there yelping. Burp, 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 burp. Go Dogs. So they have him tied in the Heisman race behind Oregon's Dante Moore. It's not I'm not voting. If I voted, I'll probably going for Coach Saban or something. I know you're not for the winning, but I just vote for him for a heck of, because he deserves a Heisman Trophy. Man, got 7 doggone national championships. Why can't get a Heisman Trophy? Might as well. So he got ice in his veins, it seems. I mean, he goes out there, he prays. He left the field with this. I think this is going to be his new touchdown thing. That would be great on the road if he does this. I like that. I like it. It's nice Christian guy like that, Somebody was telling some. I heard his pregame speech. He need to put some bass in his voice and throw some 4-letter words. I'm like, man, go somewhere and sit down. Go somewhere and sit down. Well, how about next time you see Ty Simpson coming up, Mr. Adapt and Respond? That Oklahoma fan, by the way. Next time you see Ty Simpson doing a doggone doing a pregame speech, how about you turn your dang TV off? Turn off the YouTube. Go out somewhere and figure out what Oklahoma gonna do when they get this fire. Because we coming, or we going, or something like that. It ain't gonna be like it was last year. We have to crush not your spirit, we have to crush your very soul. Back to what I was saying. Now, that Heisman invite might be, come with the tux fitting. Because, I think he's doing enough now, at least making New York. As I said it just off the top of my head, I said, man, it'd be great if Ty plays so great that he's off to the next level. And then Austin Mack gets that one shot, and then maybe he goes to the next level. And, or then, Kalen gets his shot. Who knows? Everything's kind of clicking. It's back to clicking. Like I said, the Crips Tide is back. And I won't say the Crips Tide is like back on legendary, dynastic. No. The Crips Tide is back on track for the 2025 football season. Will we lose again? Who knows? It is highly possible, but we are back looking like where we're supposed to be. And I hope they learn from the loss at FSU. Not only that, but from FSU's loss to Virginia, to realize like you was playing a bunch of suckers. That's a double slack off. One thing to lose the game the way they did. The next thing to lose to guys, the team just wasn't that good. They was just playing with your mind out there that day at Doak Walker Stadium. And you played with yourselves, and you played yourself twice. But Ty is there. He's doing his thing. He's going from who's next to he's next. He's real. He's on the rise. He's rolling. He's at the real. He's at the wheel. He's doing his thing. Grubbs pitching the shutout, kind of, sort of. He's pitching the shutout. The offensive line, when they solidify, I think we'll get some more rush yards out of them. I don't know why Daniel Hill or one of the other backs didn't play, especially Daniel Hill. I wonder why he didn't play. I kind of wondered them guys have a coughing problem at practice, that they're not to be trusted when it comes to the game. Because this team hadn't given up a turnover. We know it'll happen, but they try to stay away from it. So last thing on here before I get out here, there's a skiff pulling up the side, the mighty USS Alabama Crimson Tide nuclear operated vessel. Diego Pavia is coming to town. Diego Pavia is coming in with swagger. He got swagger in his cleats, and then come Nick Saban throwing that man compliments. Thank you, Nick. I know what that is, Nick. That ain't number rat poison. Nick throwing that man rat poison. Nick, first of all, Diego Pavia said, they asked him about the game on September 29th. They said, they asked him on September 29th. He's responding. He said, it's going to be a good time, a fun time. That's what Pavia said. People that's almost like saying, we're not just coming in your backyard to play. We come to throw a party on your jump. So he's never played in Bryant-Denny, but, he's treating it like a bucket list bash. You know what I'm saying? This is what you come to the SEC for. Big lights, big fight, blah, blah, blah. They are undefeated, y'all. I think, 5-0? I don't know if they played anything like what we got. I don't know if they played about the third kind of junk that we got, but they number 16. It's not exactly flukish. It's a freight train with Pavia at the wheel, or should we say it's more like a steamer vessel with Pavia at the wheel. And Nick Saban ain't helping the situation, not for him. He said it's a really good football team. He praised Clark Lee's coaching, and he's not throwing no shade. He's respect. I think it's rat poison, but we'll see. He said Pavia is a really good quarterback. That's like, imagine Gordon Ramsay come to your house, or your shift, G. Garvin come to your house and be like, man, what? You cook this chicken, or did you buy this chicken? If Nick Saban told you was a really good quarterback, that's working on your psyche. But this squad is better than the one last year, so we got to be ready. We got to be ready not to give up 225 yards again. Keep that thing down, keep it down under 200, make that man throw the ball, and then we can pick him a couple times, and we'll see. But last year, Saban said that he said Vanderbilt was the only stadium in the SEC that wasn't wasn't hard to play in. This year, he kind of singing a little different tone, but I think it's rat poison. So on game day in Tuscaloosa, Pavia is bringing that juice. Saban's bringing some receipts. So we just know this ain't Vandy Chris's old van. This the new van. And I think we're going to be ready to go. Vandy is favored by 12. No, Vegas has Alabama favored by 12. It was 10.5, depending on where you look. So they got a lot of tension in this game because I don't want the guys to get tight and start trying to take revenge on these people. But they do need to make another statement. This is the final statement to me, and I'll go over this more on Thursday. So you took out Georgia, then you play Vandy, you got to destroy them because they did you last year. They did you dirty. And then, that lets Oklahoma know that, don't expect to be competitive in that game. We need to shut all this Vandy down, let Vandy be competitive with the other schools. We need to get Vandy in a place, not back in a place, because I don't think they're going back there as long as Clark Lee is over there. But we need to put them in a place where they know that they are Vanderbilt when it comes to Alabama. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Pavia's been pretty good. He got good stats, 1,211 yards passing, 13 touchdowns. And, I don't know how many interceptions he got. I'll look at that again on Thursday. And that's just knowing that guy, you know how he is. That's a chip on your shoulder the size of Nashville's Music City. So got another comment came in. Who is this? This is, Petrino going to contract. Going to get a contract out there. Hey, thing is, it might be at AU because you know what they did a long time ago. I won't go into all that. Go look it up. Go look up bank CEO and owner. Go look up Colonial Bank. Go look up planes in the middle of the night landed in Louisville, Kentucky. But going back to what I'm talking about here, Alabama defense, we did just shut them down. But they saying Pavia is not Gunner Stockton. Gunner, don't take that line down. Go out there and prove yourself to the rest of the world. But he does have wheels, and we don't have Q Russo to track him down as much. But somebody will be there waiting on him. I'm sure they will. So this just isn't a matchup on Saturday. It's a movie. Pavia is looking to write that sequel. If he beat us. If they beat us 2 years in a row, that would be a tragedy. Doggone, almost did like a doggone, be like a horror movie, more than a thriller. A horror thriller, is that a thing? So that's what Pavia wants to do. He gets to stand up like one of them Ole Miss quarterbacks that was a flash in the pan. I think he beat Alabama in Alabama and then beat them in the Grove or something like that. Or maybe we talking about Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze. I don't know. Hugh Freeze ever beat Alabama in Alabama? Maybe so. But he's trying to write that own story. And that's going to help him out in the draft because he's going to need a lot of help to get there. But I have a lot more confidence in this team right now. That they can get it done. They can do whatever they want to do, put their minds to it. Just keep this edge. Keep wearing the black jersey if you have to. Coach Deboer or whatever. Coach the hoodie. Keep getting in folks' face at practice, on the field, in the locker room, at the church service, at the players only meeting, whatever you got to do, keep doing it. But for now, I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to bed because after watching them dogs whimper, I just hate to see dogs cry. They was crying in the second quarter. They couldn't believe it. They was crying in the second quarter. You see the guys? I don't like seeing dogs cry. It hurts me. So I'm about to get out of here because it just wore me out. But don't forget to smack that subscribe button. Tell your friends all about us. Hit that notification button so you know when I drop a video or I drop a short or something like that. Share these links to build this up to a fun-loving audience. And be sure to poke that like button right in the old eye. Whether it may be a black eye, it may be a red eye. Just poke it right in that eye. Tell your friends they can find me right here on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere in the world. I'm about to jump out there on TikTok. I'm working on my dances now. Now TikTok is got the full credit and faith of the federal government. Some kind of how I'm gonna get me some TikTok accounts, and I'm working on what my move's gonna be. You got to dance to be out there. I heard that's what the kids tell me. Shout out to B Sharp and the Sharpshooters podcast, Kangaroo Black, Oh, man. Bama Moore, The Long Run with Piano Man, Rags and Fitness, Roll Tides, all of you guys. Thank you for making Alabama great always. Peace to the people over at Auburn Addicts. Water Cooler Podcast. Bub and Old Man, it's SEC season with my main man, Tez, the Huggy Beard himself, a.k.a. Rooster Mac, Dustin at the Uptempo Podcast. Let's get them an internet hug, those guys. Get them come on in, guys. Let me give you an internet. Oh, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna get okay. Don't worry, guys. As soon as Hugh Freeze gets this big win against Georgia in 2 weeks after coming off the bye week, he's gonna get the contract extension that you all deserve. Vandy Chris at the Golden Broom calling you out. Been talking trash about Ryan Williams for the whole doggone summer, but you ain't saying nothing about Jeremy Bernard. What about him? Isaiah Horton's there too. Don't pick up the little kid. Pick on them other two dudes. We coming, Vandy Chris. And to all these folks, they are a fine group of Crimson Tide hating and doubting Americans. With that, guys, we will see you on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. I hope PhD heard that because she said I need to give the Central Time because she is over in the Central Time Zone. So I hope I got that right because I get confused. 6 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Central Time. This Thursday, we will check you guys out. And with that, always remember, so happy. Roll, Tide, roll.